Well, the clock is ticking. How are the nerves? Less than 4 hours until England take to the field to face the Netherlands for a place in the Euro 2024 final against Spain. Gareth Southgate is looking to make it back-to-back finals in this competition. And let's head live to Rob Dorsett, who is at the stadium in Dortmund. Rob, the Dutch fans, well, they've travelled in their thousands to Germany. It looks like they're going to outnumber the English today.
For the first time in the tournament, Gail, yeah, that could well be the case. I mean, look, the Netherlands border is 102 miles from where I'm talking to you from right now at Signal Iduna Park, which is looking resplendent, by the way, on a sunny day here in Dortmund. So it's easy for them to come here, and I've been speaking to it. It feels like I've spoken to every single one of the 80,000 Netherlands supporters who are predicted to be in the city today. While I speak to you right now, they're on their traditional march to where I'm standing speaking to you. So all of the roads around Dortmund are closed while the vast majority of those 80,000 march en masse from the city centre up to the stadium. They do it every game. It's quite a sight, you have to say, and we've seen a lot of those sights around Dortmund city centre already today. The impression that I get is that the vast majority of England fans have stayed away from Dortmund right now. They're still in Dusseldorf. They're going to travel to the stadium much, much later because of the huge numbers of Netherlands supporters that are in the middle of town right now. So, yes, I think England's supporters will be outnumbered for the very first time. This stadium behind me holds 60,000 normally for Bundesliga games for Borussia Dortmund. It's reduced a little bit from that tonight under UEFA rules. That yellow wall that we know so well will not be having any standing areas. It has to be all-seater for UEFA competitions. And so there's officially only 8,000 tickets for England fans and 8,000 tickets for Netherlands fans. I think there'll be an awful lot more than both. For both sets of supporters, probably 3 times as many England supporters, maybe 4 times as many Dutch fans inside the stadium. So it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. It's been all very amicable, lots of banter flying around in the streets that we've seen earlier on today. Tremendous scenes in the middle of Dortmund. It feels like a carnival. It feels like a very special day. It feels like a big day in tournament football, and England against Netherlands in a European Championship semi-final is all of that and more, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks absolutely spectacular, sounds absolutely amazing as well. Look, Rob, are we any clearer how Southgate is going to line up tonight?
Well, look, we broke the news for you on Sky Sports News last night that we expected Kieran Trippier to keep his place in the starting 11, which is really significant news because there's been a growing clamour, I think, for Luke Shaw to start at left wing back. But the simple fact of the matter is he's not quite match sharp yet to take that risk with. And so my understanding is Southgate felt that the maximum they might be able to get from him in terms of time is maybe 45 minutes, maybe 60 minutes. So he didn't want to have to make a substitution which could affect England tactically. And besides all of that, he's a big fan of Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier has played in all of England's big games. This will be his 3rd semi-final in a major tournament in the last 4 tournaments that Gareth Southgate has been in charge of. He's the man for the big occasion. He's an excellent defender. I think Southgate thinks he'll be able to cope with the rampaging Denzel Dumfries, who's going to push on from fullback when Netherlands have the ball. And in terms of changes elsewhere, well, there may only be one change for England from the side that Southgate put out against Switzerland. You're looking at it there. And, of course, Ezri Konsa made his first start in a major tournament in that back 3. I fully expect Mark Guéhi to come back into that position tonight. He's finished his suspension, having picked up 2 yellow cards. All yellow cards, by the way, are wiped at this stage in the tournament, so all of England's players have a clean bill of health. The only way they will miss the final is if one of them were to get, dare we say it, sent off tonight. Those other players in midfield and ahead of the back 3, I'm expecting to be pretty similar, if not exactly the same. Now, we're not absolutely sure that it's going to be a back 3 for England. We're pretty confident on the personnel. And Southgate has thrown 1 or 2 surprises in recent times, hasn't he? Because we expected Trippier and Saka to be on opposite wings in the last game to the one they actually started on. So it may be that England are a little bit more fluid in their formation. It may be a back 4 at times. It may be a back 3 at times. But I think on the starting lineup sheet, it'll look like a back 3 for England because that serves England so much better in the last game. Probably their best performance in the tournament so far, albeit that they didn't have a shot on target until Bukayo Saka equalised in the 80th minute. So room for improvement still, whatever formation Gareth Southgate goes with tonight.
And with that in mind, Rob, there has been so much scrutiny, hasn't there, on Southgate's style of play during this tournament. Can you just put into a little bit of perspective what it would mean if they did reach another Euros final?
It would be extraordinary, wouldn't it? Consecutive Euros finals. If England do it tonight and they meet Spain in the final in Berlin on Sunday, that will be the first time ever that any England team has ever made a final of a Euros on foreign soil. Of course, they did it last time at Wembley. We won't talk about that. We know how the final went. But it would be history for England if they did that tonight. And Gareth Southgate and Harry Kane in the pre-match news conference yesterday made no qualms about that. They were very open about it. They said, look, we're aware we're on the verge of history. And I think you have to look at the fact beyond what England have done in this tournament to what they've done in previous tournaments. They're very comfortable in these surroundings. Look at the England players walking out there this morning for a walk outside their team hotel. Kobbie Mainoo, you can see in that shot, just going out of your picture. Kobbie Mainoo's the least experienced. He made his Manchester United debut back in November. Here he is on the verge of starting for England in a major tournament semi-final. But other than that, you've got Jordan Pickford, John Stones, Harry Kane, Kieran Trippier, who've all been there and done it before. And a lot of these players have done it in recent tournaments as well. And I think Southgate said something significant in the news conference, which resonated with me towards the end of the news conference last night. He said he feels that the pressure, the weight has come off these England players' shoulders. It was almost like they were playing with inhibition early in the tournament. Well, they've now got to a semi-final. I think he knows and the players know that there's no shame if England lose to Netherlands at this stage tonight. Of course they don't want to do that, but anything from here on in is almost a bonus. And Southgate's record, 101 games in charge of England. He's never got the worst record he's ever had in any of those tournaments has been the quarter-final stage. He's now at another semi-final stage. So Southgate seems to be implying that the pressure's off. It's a free hit from here for England. You know, they can go and be a bit more expansive, express themselves a little bit more, be a bit more confident, play a little bit more without the incumbent pressure that they've played with so far in the tournament. We'll see when they actually get out on the pitch whether that's possible, of course. That's what every England fan is hoping for, a freer performance from England. But they have the players, so do the Netherlands. These are two teams that haven't really matched up to expectations so far in this tournament. I think whichever side has their big players come to the fore tonight could well be in the final against Spain on Sunday.
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? Fantastic. Thanks very much, Rob, and we'll be back to Dortmund in the next hour. So, tens of thousands of Dutch and England fans have descended on Dortmund. How are they feeling as we approach kick-off?
Someone's just told me there's expecting 95,000 Dutch fans here. It's like an away day, so hopefully we take it upon us, and they'll be there ones who are crying at the end of the match.
Tonight, I think we're going to win, and I think you're going home. Unfortunately.
I think the players, you know, the big-time players aren't they? So they're used to the atmosphere, they're used to the big games. They'll be okay.
Don't take me home. Please don't take me home. I just don't want to go nowhere. I want to stay.
Say hopefully would win it 1-0, or I dare say it in extra time and penalties. I very much hope it doesn't go that far.
Confident, the atmosphere is good, but I think we'll be all right. I think 1-1 and we win on penalties.
Let's go! It's better. England's going home.
It's going to be all year.
Very confident.
It's going to be all year.